Done? So, right, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. We say that when I say apostle and elders of great most and royal, or teachers of apostle in truth, and we say salutations to the academics, the pushing the word, and our truth and sincerity, day in and day out, constantly season on season, we say, Shalom.
So in the time of prophecy, and every day, you see the prophecies unfolding faster and faster. The end is coming, the end is near. You understand? Yeah, so we're going to tell about
in 2 Ezra chapter 15, outside from verse 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which are put in thy mouth, said the Lord.
Yeah, no. And we see the prophecies coming, so when we talk about the prophecies, according to the elders, we speak it ad nauseam. You understand? We repeat it over and over. We don't get sick of it. You know?
Now something say about the repeat. You remember something, everything in life is repetitive. That is why and being repetitive is how you just remember, it's how you remember something.
Yeah.
So it's to beat it in the mind. That is why you study over and over to remember something.
Yeah.
You understand? So it says to speak, it says, Behold, speak down in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Like we have to do, you have to constantly think. Like the other people that's coming, come on board. And they will say, so are they talking about the trip right through? Yes, we have to.
God.
We have to. There's a reason why when you read something in Matthew, you can see it in the book of Luke, you can see it in the book of John. It's because why? It's to bear witness that this happened. Where it have two or more witnesses, right? So it has to bear witness of this one particular thing. But same way, we have to talk about it. We have to. It have no who we going to stop for you? At the end of the day, when we speak this word, it's to get out that blood off our hands. You understand? We're working for our salvation as well. Right? So we have to, it's a must. That's the reason why even Yahushai come to do his work. And he didn't hesitate, he didn't stop to do his work, he didn't have time to take on thing. You understand? He had many different encounters. You should have said that that's one of the things the Lord do. It could not even be written.
It could be contained in the books.
Yeah, you understand? So why? The Lord together speaks.
Quick research. It said in Hebrews 10 verse 28, it say he that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses.
So who despise it, and that goes for all the work, remember? Hey,
Everything was done with 2 or 3 witnesses.
so 2 or 3 witnesses. You understand? So you have to give this account. And the Lord say you have to speak this. You have to speak this prophecy unto them. It have no if man or baby. For example, some of the prophets, when you read so many prophets like Jeremiah, when the Lord told him to go into Israel, Jeremiah was like, oh, are they going to these people, right? These people, right? But he still had us going on doing it.
God, he has no choice. He has no choice.
Understand?
The camera's a little far, so let go.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 3 verse 17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
So, again, I go back to this. Why prophecy, warning? These are things that are never nice. You understand? Majority of the prophecies is what? It's things that are going to happen to you. Death, destruction, wars. Ezekiel chapter 2, the last verse say what? Written inside of this is lamentations, wars, and wars. You understand? So when they give you a warning prophecy, if it won't happen to it, the Lord says it's national thief, right? So that is what one take place. We have to do it that way.
Why people don't always grieve when they say a prophet in the land, and they know they hear coming to tell them not to do it. You know, he come and say, oh, it was wrong, and they should punishment.
And even if you get a warning, just hear any word warning,
you know it's something.
you know it's something, right?
You don't get warned from nothing good.
You can't.
Argument to right tree. Someone get it 28 and 45 from that. Start from one from the top.
This is Joel chapter 3. I read from verse 1.
Yeah, start from
It
one.
said, Behold, in those days,
Yeah, in these days, right?
and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Right. So, what did you tell me?
Which one, 2010? Yeah, right, got you.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 45.
Yeah.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Right, so that from Deuteronomy 28:16 come down. About the list of curses, because why? Good.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power.
We didn't care. We was doing what we want. We made our oath and we broke our oath. You understand? So that's why in Joel it could say in that time in this time and in this day, right? While Judah and Jerusalem is in captivity, because that's where we is now. You understand? This is not our land. The rulers of this land is not ours. You understand? We in captivity under a strange nation. You understand? Go ahead.
To keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
Yeah.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Yeah. Because it will be our sign. A sign to signify what that is this people. You understand? Go to 6.
If I can say that, like you see, like how it was in the past. Remember, nations always had conflicts on it, but it never used to.
Then separate, so
But it never used to bother us. It's only when we went
when we
off.
go up,
Is
then
when they
go
used to
side
come
by
and
side, look what the punishment.
because Babylon and when the whole Assyrian problem that didn't concern we. You understand? Any other war it used to have, once it is we was on track, that was their problem. That wasn't the problem.
That's why people say in Amos 3, only you have I known of all the family of the earth, therefore you punish me for your iniquity.
A father not going to punish children that is not his. Like not his.
Like I say, yeah, bastards and not sons.
And that's just basically it.
Something small piece. And you can slide the rest of that.
Because Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right, he brought us into Egypt again with ships. Now geographically, you don't need a ship to go from Egypt to Israel. Literally in the geographical land, it's not that far apart. But historically, what is called it? Map control. Right, so historically, that exodus or that movement of Jerusalem, you understand, was done through the transatlantic slave trade. That's why in Joel 1 and 3 and 1 Salakia, talk about what? In the time of Judah's and Jerusalem's captivity, which is now. This is the time of our captivity. You understand? Yes, we are afforded liberties. You could go to work, you could fly, you could leave the country, but at the end of the day, once you're born in this land, you understand, there are documentations to denote who you belong to. You understand? And that is what make us captive, that is what make us slaves. A free man can just get up on a plane and go where he wants. You can leave your country without papers and you can enter a country without papers, so therefore you're not free. You understand?
Also remember too that even though they remove chains, they still have some kind of that slavery. Because yeah, you can leave, right? You can leave. But if the government has to do anything, you're gonna need their ownership.
The draconian laws.
You have to abide by it.
And then you have tributaries to pay,
Same way with the job. This will show you how they control, or this will show you how you as a slave and they as a master, and they shut down the place. Because they can't. You understand? They lead. A leader of a place is literally a leader of a place, or they say yourself what? You can't be a ruler, you can't be consider yourself a king and not have what?
slaves start.
Are we not going to have servants in the kingdom that have to do what? They have to do what? They have to serve.
Whatever we say.
Whatever we say. They have to go through that 1,000 years doing what? They serve us. You understand? And they just serve us as well.
The reasonable service
Still in the hands of the enemy. Right, and Scripture says, Exodus 21, he that stealeth a man and selleth him, what he be found in his hand shall surely be put to death. And the Lord will come and meet with the hands of Esau. And that's why David said, who's going to deliver us from the hands of the strong, which is too strong for thee? You know, so having birth paper, social security number, all that form of ownership. Right? So we belong to the state. Hey, Esau, he wouldn't give him to the hands of the wicked. Hey, so the Lord will come because he was stolen. He was stolen and he was sold.
Remember through history, every person and someone had a mark of ownership. That's why when you go to the laws, they used to make you walk bow side of your ears, right? When you go through, when you reach Rome used to mark here, they used to brand here, right? When you reach here, they give you what? A paper document. But in the future, what you gonna get? A chip. You're gonna get a chip. So each part through history, it always have a branding of ownership.
Yeah, each nation and they own their
book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh our power.
Yeah, because what we said, so this is what? It's a punishment. When it's for payment, it's be recompense to the Lord. So what? Do his service in this land under this rulership. You know, it's not of us, but we have to do it. You know? So what can we do?
Say because of the fathers of the sins, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody, you know, people like to tell, you know, what is one of the saints, people like to tell earlier, we can't pay for the sins of the fathers. That's what they have to pay for. We pay for our own. We know the deep meaning of that. We ourselves are what?
Yeah,
We are our fathers, right? That might be a little deep for some people, but whatever get.
In due time, yeah.
You understand? But say he's all of to tell all them that they don't need to pay for the fathers, but the Lordship does you know what? We have to pay for the things that we fathers do. Brother.
If you follow that logic what Esau telling you, and you believe it, you realize he will never pay for it.
Yes,
That's what you
Because
want.
he always passed the ball, he passed the baton to somebody else
Yeah.
to pay for it. And when it reached back to him, or he come full circle, you always try to make it look like it's your fault.
Yeah.
You wanted this, you did this. Because they perpetuate the idea of this generational curse crap,
Yeah.
where you come in to pay for the sin that some ancestor 2, 3, 400 years ago. Right? And with that understanding now, they're not going to pay for anything. So they just excuses they're making.
Yep.
It's just a whole bunch of excuses, and sadly to say Jake's bought that. Because we have a lot of Jakes honestly believing the state they're in, they truly deserve it because the so-called white man is better than them.
Can.
Which is far from the truth.
When they call, I can't remember what they call it, it's something syndrome they call it. When I Stockholm syndrome, right? So that's why you say that. That's why you say every time he do something, he come back and he make it look like it was nothing, right? When he said he was right, he come back to Jacob.
Yeah, like if Jacob wrong.
Like if Jacob wrong him. You give it up.
It was a choice.
It was a choice. That's why I go back to what the Hebrews don't tell you, even though he swore to with tears. You're not going to get it back, brother. You understand? You're not going to get it back.
If I can say based on what you say, brother, to see how, like for example, what you saw like to do, how to like to work behind fronts. Because that information coming out now showing how much Esau do, but to do it in a secretive way. So by the time the information actually come out that is what to do, they could always pin it on somebody else. You understand? Because it could come out like 40, 50 years, and that was, look how long ago that was, you know, and try to diffuse it.
That's how we like to do it, you know. You would like to be in the clear way. Let bygone be bygone.
Yeah.
That's happening part, but they just remember their Holocaust. We flooded to them. But what they did to the so-called Hebrew Latinos and Native throughout history, you know, they remember that.
And still doing it.
Still doing it to this day.
That is why the scripture says in Revelation 9, verse 20, see, and the rest of the men which were not killed by the plagues, yet repented not of their works, of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, neither repented they of their murders, nor their sorceries, nor their fornication, nor their theft.
The golden cup.
So he repented and that way, and you can see it today. Watch how Esau does deal with Jakes. Who possesses, slay them and hold themselves not guilty. What the incident with the Edomite went to the school and spray up the school. Them actually talk he down, you know. I think he out on a bun. You know, pleading sanity. But let her be a Jake now.
Nah.
They really down with bullets.
I'm also going to say, I don't know if you see recently, but Florida, the state in Florida, they actually passed a law where schools and so forth cannot teach what happened in slavery. They have to teach that. They have to teach that the slaves benefit from slavery. They can't teach slavery was bad.
And Kanye was saying the same thing. Slavery was a choice.
Of the make alterations to the scriptures, to the part in Deuteronomy 20, where it said no man shall buy thee. They change it wrong to me that we willingly offer ourselves as slaves. I mean, for what benefit? I mean, common sense go tell you.
Yeah, because we primitive. I always say we're apes and we incapable of learning, even though we teach them how to bathe properly And do all these different things.
Remember when they came out from there,
The caucus.
1,000 years, and they meet the world after the dark ages. Them had everything set up, you know. So before we didn't have no lampposts. You understand? It's when we was ruling, all of a sudden the streets are light and them come and meet it so and run with it, you know. You understand? They didn't know nothing about that.
Because now they're coming out with they call it the toast. After the toast, when they come back up, the Renaissance period, what they want to do, they make everything, they change over everything to make it look like they were the first. They did this, they did that. That's why you see some of the statues just break out. Some they paint over the images, all these things.
But in history they show you that the Romans didn't even have a sewer system. What if you high heels was invented for? Because the streets was flooded with so much shit, literal dump. Yeah, so you know what I mean? And walk with high heels, not to step in it.
Even
that was the purpose of it.
even in like right, if I go back in history, they show the movie like Bible Trader.
Yeah.
Hosting the Edomites used to be in England and thing, right? England, Rome and so forth. Hosting used to be that right underneath that the Vikings conquer them, one of the cities, by literally playing with the rats underneath the city. Like right underneath the concrete here, the city building, underneath here are rats, and they just play with that. Then let the rats come and interfere with them. They were so infested now.
That was also, it had a document about that, talking about like people in royalty, the queen and so forth, they used to bathe. What they used to do is to put powder all over that and sweeten up the cell, but they used to bathe the cell, so you used to get all kind of rashes and all kind of things.
That's why even to this day, I remember my grandma used to say, I would say Edomite, because I didn't want to say, you know how you do it. I would say, she used to say when they pass next to Edomite, you smell fish. It smells fresh, man.
Yeah.
The rub them down in some lime.
Some lime, yeah. Yes, good.
Any
Joel?
Yeah,
Well, anything else you want to do?
I appreciate the back up the so-called white man, yeah, when you really look at all the slave movies, you know who created all the slave movies is the so-called white man. So he saw the ability to show people what he did to us and still receive no repercussion for it.
But he getting a reward because he getting paid for those slave movies.
More than the chase.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 73 verse 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. So Esau, as you say, Esau said that bygones be bygones. Esau talk about the what happened to the Khazars and the Holocaust.
The Holocaust, yeah.
And they would always want a recompense for that. But as for the people they oppressed for over 400 years and still oppressing to this day, you know that how they get swept under the rug. You understand? And Esau would never own up to it. Because as you all say, they don't think like it's a benefit that we went into slavery.
Yeah.
You hear some of them Christian pastors saying, before we was in slavery, we didn't know Christ. And through slavery, we learned Christianity, and that brought us closer to Jesus and shit like that.
They ain't wrong, They make it sound good now.
We didn't know about the good ship Jesus before that.
It's the 2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And this is what Esau is terrified of. So they're hoping by getting on the good side and probably getting to lobby for their salvation, to see to think it might appease the Most High, so he would render to them the recompense of their reward. So this is why he view us as threat number one. We don't have no gun, we don't have no knife. We're not out here inciting anybody to go and commit treason and sedition. The fact that we bring out the prophecies, and he knows that the prophecies prophesied his downfall.
Yep.
This is what he's terrified of, because one phase of the prophecy already being fulfilled as we speak. The knowledge of who we are has been brought back. Dispel the trillions of dollars to hide this information. So right now, they're tripping over themselves, going batshit crazy. How these people who are at the lowest, they don't really have no sense of formal education or not, being able to break down the prophecies and the scriptures like that and have the understanding to who they are. The last prophecy to be fulfilled is Yahushai. We know the MOT. Fast forward into Yahushai coming to topple everything and to restore us. And they're terrified of us.
Yeah.
Like the back up what I was saying with words as revealed. We were talking about Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 18. It says wisdom is better than weapons of war. So we, as the brother said, we don't have no gun. You know, we are coming out here with no gun and no weapons. All we come out here is with the word and alone. And this word had them in more fear than if we were to actually come out here with the gun.
And like all we need.
You remember something the reason why E.S.O.T.E is contaminated food is why it's a killer brain. You know, so and who they aiming for is a Jake. They never want them to think beyond the natural how to pay for that beast thinking. Because how Jake thinking it is just like a beast. You understand how the Lord say group beasts need to be what? Taken and destroyed. And that Esau know how to play with that. Once you keep them in that level, because remember, they coming back at Jacob, they would never want to see that happen because they know they come back at Israel together. That is it. Right? They never want to see that. By right, they're trying to hold their kingdom together. Right? Now to come back to one of the things they say about the slave movies, right? And come back to that. When they make the story about Nat Turner, right? It wasn't an Edomite make it. It was a Jake. But the Jake literally put the right story. He didn't twist it, he didn't turn it, he literally put the right story. You know what Esau come and do? They come and say that the Israelite that Acaz Nat Turner, he was a raper, he molested somebody, he's an abuser. Just to make that story, just to make that Nat Turner story not come out the way it's supposed to come out. When it's supposed to be bigger than 12 years a slave. Because Nat Turner story is literally showing him that when he tap into the Bible and he get to understand that, hey, nah, these people them is not chosen, them is not everything, you know? That was the thing I'm saying, but they didn't want that to come up because now, but these things, it raise questions. Things that they're the answer. They don't want to. You understand?
I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
See, there's Judith 5, I'll start from 17, right? It say, and whilst they sin not before their power, it say they prospered because the power that hated iniquity was with them. It say, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore. It say, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. That was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground. It say, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
So understand that, you know, when we sin against we make our Lord is good preach. We then be in low state. So he know he go always be on top, he go always overpower we because when we transgress, he know it. Our Lord is deal with me. So he aim is to turn all your from all your power.
Oh, he aim is to put laws in place so you'll always transgress.
Yeah, you'll always be there.
So the Most High will always be vexed with us. So he will keep us on that subjection. That
The-
is the aim. What's your rules? What's your laws of your kingdom? You understand?
The Willian system.
Come on.
But what the perpetual programming of a slave to keep them in that mindset.
No.
The thing about that, remember, some years ago, when I was reading through the Willie Lynch, I say every time I see Willie Lynch law, I'll do a video particular to one of the things, everything he said, because every time he says something, it's something that pertains to the scriptures. So when the scriptures said to do this, what he did was go the next way.
And program them to do so.
Like
Yeah.
Satan behavior. That is Satan behavior. You know what the question they say, everything that the Lord said to do, Satan has said to do different.
That is it.
That is Satan.
That's it.
It's showing it. You understand? Good, I go back and draw, right?
Yeah.
But I think...
I'll finish, right?
I'll finish, right?
It say verse 18, right? Judith 5 was 19. It say, but now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the place where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem. It say, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill countries, for it was desolate. And that's the part we're waiting on right now. We're returning spiritually now, but we're waiting for the Lord to fulfill the prophecy of putting us back in our land. See, it said, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, we were talking about before, they try to mess up Jake's brain so they could keep error in. Say, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this should be their ruin, and let us go up. So, like here. Right, you see? And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. It say, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
They wait and they wait fear. Right? Jake's coming back into remembrance. And you know what that? Because you know you're going to be detrimental, you know you're going to be terrible.
Yeah, can.
Because hey, once we turn back to our power, and the Lord dealing with we, hey, you know what's going to happen.
But I do a nice thing at time, you know that planted the apes, it's planted the jakes.
Yeah.
You understand? You remember I planted the apes, when he party, the man said the beast man.
Yeah.
And when he watches, he saw he
Yeah.
this man, I am saying that, the beast man.
Beware of the beast
Yeah,
man.
beware of the beast man. He's a beast, sir. He's a ape, but he's telling you, beware of the beast man. You understand? And when they do so, is a Edomite.
Chains, yeah.
Finish that?
Yeah, finish.
But they say, no, we're going back into that sanctuary because they was Israel dwelling in place, Mosiah, you know, he set that land for them and they're coming back to that state. Right? That's because in Joel 13, verse 1, say, for lo, the days come, said the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, said the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. They will be coming, they will be waiting for. Right? So a lot of them people, you know, in Israel today, you know, who want to send bulletproof vests and money and all kind of things, thinking them is the chosen people. Them is not the chosen people.
What?
You are causing distress there right now.
Why the Lord does stand and defend them?
God.
Why the other buy bullets and guns? You say, when the Lord say, put your sword back in your sheath, eh? Save your winners because of the Lord. All these different principles that can never apply to the self, but they always want to tell us that we're supposed to do these things. Turn the other cheek. I ain't seeing nobody turn in the face. You understand?
Zeus is like, a perfect example is one of the gods is Zeus. And Zeus is like how them must think. He could do it.
Yeah, well,
But the rest of people underneath them can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the mentality I saw. It's like they could. Because they remember, again, no matter what it is a sin, no matter how it is a thing, every nation believe that they should be the head. You understand? But these people come about, you know what this revelation says? What? These are the people that confuse the other nations. You know this to be the other nations hidden. And you confuse and drown them in your philosophies. So you are of them in wickedness. That is why everybody else go and get what?
Yeah, they're going to get pardoned for some
That's
extent.
the servant. But Esau is the only nation and go and get what? Completely wiped out.
Scripture say, make all nations drink the wine of fornication.
All of them.
See, if it were possible, he would deceive the very elect.
If you look at the land today, there was a video popular on TikTok where you're seeing birds literally removing the flag Israel had from off the flag.
I remember I was
So
seeing
even
something like
the
that, yeah.
animals don't want them there.
Like Joel, Joel, see even the animals mourn. You understand? Joel said that right there. You see, even the animals mourn. That's what. That's
Yeah.
even actually say. I don't know if you see it, but I posted a video for that Israel government tell the black Israelites to leave the land.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I know about that one.
Yeah.
I didn't finish watching that.
Leave the land.
Yeah, they right now they pass up with black Hebrew Israelites.
Leave.
Yeah.
Leave the land now.
Well, they don't take me out there, you boss.
But they believe based on black Hebrew Israelites, they're responsible for all the things that befall them.
Well, I
So
mean,
they
that
think
is the way, that is the-
I send them away, it might stop.
No, it might get worse.
But
So.
it definitely won't get worse. We know that.
And the funny thing about that is that the same thing going to happen to us. Because all these things we speaking, when it start to come to pass, people go and label us like it's our fault it happened, like we fall that white happening. They're going to blame we fake.
But that written.
Also, we are going out and we populate,
Yeah,
they are
yeah,
going
yeah.
out. Only negativity, only spreading, only saying nothing positive. Only talk about hate, but our power hates.
Can.
So, but it's not about this last time.
It was the same thing, similar with the
It's
Haitians.
only hate to a person that don't like the truth. It's only hate. It's only hate is when that person offended. You understand?
And also, man, to the Haitians, when the disaster was in Puerto Rico, they was blaming the Haitians for it. They was saying because of the wickedness, all else be doing is the same similar like that what happened to me.
Huh?
I say like with the Haitians now, when the disaster happened in Puerto Rico, they was blaming the Haitians for it. I say similar like that going to happen to me. When disasters started to come here, they're going to want to say it's our fault.
So yeah. And then Hakim, this Joel chapter 3, verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yeah,
You know,
Jehoshaphat, which means
Jehoshaphat,
judgment
you
or
understand?
the Most High Judge.
Yeah.
Right.
It says, and will plead with them there
Right.
for my people. Oh, so sorry.
You could plead with them there. Right now, this is Psalms 110. Psalms 110 and 5. It says, the Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. You understand? And that is what? That is pertaining to that judgment. Because in the day of your wrath, he will strike through many kings. Scripture say, well, the saying that the Lord shall be men. You understand? They can't stand in that day. Right? You might Ezekiel 36 and 18. Anybody who close?
Also the mighty man shall reap himself here. Ezekiel 36 and 18.
Yeah, from the city.
Wherefore I pour out my fury upon them for the blood that they have shed upon the land.
Done, because we know that this is the land of blood. You understand? They scripture say, well, they take it by violence, they take the land by violence. But you see, aftermath of violence, bloodshed. You understand? Violence equals bloodshed, that's what it is. Go on.
And for their idols wherewith they have polluted it.
Done. You understand? Because why? They mix and mingle and corrupt that which was once holy. You understand? Mix it with the ideologies and the doctrines.
But that's why the only way the land go and get cleansed.
It's by blood.
It's by blood and by fire. Because blood is the way that's cleansed what?
There's blood.
Blood is the
You
way that's
think
cleansed
about
blood. You give me that numbers?
Numbers. I forget which one about exactly which one that is.
That's numbers 18, I believe. 35, 33, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
1:5 verse 33. It says, so he shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed herein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So yeah, the blood of them that shed our blood, that blood have to be required of them. You understand? At the end of the day, you know when you go and sign something, you go and sign a document or you're going to have to sign up an email online. It's actually for a requirement. That's what it is. So your requirement is your blood.
But that alone too, the book of Proverbs say, unjust balance is abomination of the Most High. That is our just balance, blood for blood. That is our just balance.
But that is actually a law. That is why you wasn't supposed to take a man's life on wrongfully. Because then the blood required of what? Your hand. You understand?
That goes back to Genesis, the beginning. This is Genesis chapter 9 and verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made he man.
And so that way even Cain. The Lord had also make sure, because if men did catch Cain, men would have, that was it fair. Yeah. The Lord had also say, hey, nobody don't touch Cain, but you can mark one. You understand? And that is also show you, that is also show you that it had other people around. That's all I'm saying.
And we also he that leadeth to the captivity shall go into captivity, he that killeth with the sword
Must be killed with the sword, yeah.
You know, they
That is
just
patience. Don't forget the next piece. That is the patience and the saints.
they were waiting for, you know. They righteous recompense, right? Scripture say where it was among Solomon, where with a man sinneth, by the same he shall be punished. They will give out, they're going to receive. You expect to get something different? No, you're going to receive the same thing you give out.
You reap what you sow.
And that's why Jacob had to get slaughtered. Why? Because they was doing idol worship and they was slaying the brethren, slaying the children to Molech. They was shedding blood. You understand? So they have their blood had to get shed too.
Till this day, there's the same thing.
Sacrificing the own children.
And in modern day, our altar is sacrificing the children on the abortion table.
Yeah.
Those abortion clinics is temples to Molech. You know, but they can see that because the carnal eyesight can't see beyond the nose and the face.
So when you go and look up at the verse with the Monday abortion clinic, right? When you go and look up the history of that, and when you go back to how they build the abortion clinics, how they do it, is go back to temples. You understand? Even to the fact, like when you go back to the word of abortion and all as well, too, if you go back and say, I can't remember directly with me, but it's going back to all those lines. Even when they step in, the diagrams, the things that it have, some of the images is Molech.
And even with the actual abortion itself, he saw no, they wouldn't only profit by it by the actual you paying for the abortion, but they just take the aborted fetus and they just do things with it. Yeah, to be able to fund their personal little abominations that they'll be doing.
Stem
So it
cells,
benefit to them.
adrenochrome, all these things is things that stem cells is what is make the old get backward. Young.
So technically, how you like cattle, like producing something for them, paying to get rid of it, and then they're using that to do the wickedness.
If the Heavenly Father didn't have his hand on us, we would have been extinct as a people long ago.
And remember, the Lord wanted to do that. Actually, the Lord wanted to do that. Moses has to tell him,
Yeah.
hey, you bring,
Yeah,
so you say you bring me out there to do what? To get rid of me? Moses has to tell him, hey, let's take your time a little bit now.
When you look at the various captivities we were in, and you understand the science and that basic common sense, we are the only people who suffered these atrocities and still multiplied exponentially in the face of it, proving we had to be the children of the Most High.
Because
But
of the
any
Lord's
other
will.
culture would have done be extinguished already. We
Wiped
were
out.
in several captivities, and each captivity we always multiply exponentially till those in power realizing like, oh, these people just keep a kill one is like 10 rise up in the place.
They say they're getting too great.
Yeah.
Hey, my mom, when you say my Egypt, when they say the more you afflict them, is the more they multiply.
If that is not the hand that you have over Hashem, I will shy on people, I don't know what else.
But that is prophecy. Can you say what your seed shall be as the sand of the sea? You understand?
You can't count the signs. You say they pull up, when you be trying to pull up signs, so you're going to come there. When you eat them, I'm going to tell you, yeah, well, we have a micronism of AI technology to come from a sign. Yo, which one are you going to go for? Alright, go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 21. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain.
You're right, the disclose the blood meaning what? They will show. You understand? Books at Edom will show. They will show. Like now, today we have records. We have access to the records to show what they did. You understand? And we know what they are about to do. You understand? That's what the word disclose means, to bring to the open. It's like another word for reveal. You understand? That's what I have there.
Jake? No, it's not. Go ahead. Alright, go ahead. Who are these again?
Back in Ezekiel 36, you can choose 19. Yeah, 26 and 18.
When we read over the verse 18 above,
Yeah, you can start back with the verse 18 and go on down to 23.
Ezekiel 36:18.
Yeah.
Wherefore I poured out my fury upon them for the blood that they have shed
Right.
upon the land,
Same
and
thing.
for their idols wherewith they had polluted it.
It's
Verse 19.
the same thing we just say. When Israel flick up, the Lord had to, he had to stricken them for the wrongs.
Good. What?
And I scattered them among the heathen,
Yeah.
and they were dispersed throughout the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them.
Yeah, it was dispersed. Understand? Because once I did Deuteronomy 28 and 45, we went warring after other gods. And we'll get to that down in Joel 3 as well. Go on.
And if I can say also, that will show you how the Lord deal with each individual different, because even when they went into Babylon, Daniel was shown favor, as well as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Even though they was in captivity, he still deal with each of them differently while they was in that captivity.
I also something that something around through my six around those same lines. You remember we went through captivities, right? And each captivity went through something after. They had also received judgment for what it is to do. It's the same way when it's Belshazzar, when he take the cup, right? Take things of the Lord. And what went on with him that same night?
Yeah, many tickle.
And he had to Daniel tell him, hey,
Yeah.
what's going to happen tonight? And what went on? Another nation come and take over his place, which was the Persians is coming. You understand?
And still show Daniel favor
And
on
still
top of
show
that.
Daniel
Yeah.
favor onto that.
Because more favor from them.
Yeah, I think he gave more favor because Daniel went through what? It's 4 kingdoms? 4 or 3?
It was 3.
3. Right, he went through 3.
Medias,
Yeah, I think he went
Media
to three.
Persian,
Yeah,
yeah.
three.
I think Media Persian, he went down through.
Right? So you went to 3. And that is to show you that but every single time Daniel see the downfall of that particular kingdom for many things. So you telling me this kingdom here not going to receive the kingdom judgment, and this judgment here greater, right?
Correct.
But you only really feel only going to continue forever. Whereas the rest receive judgment. Come on. Only was part of a particular kingdom that get rid of the last ruling kingdom. You understand?
And take up all the habits of that kingdom.
All
All of them.
All the previous kingdom.
That's
Remember
put
that?
them into one big ball and
One big ball.
get them back.
That's why it's called Esau culture volunteers. Because they just take a culture. They say, no matter what the culture is, it can be Jake, it can be Elam, it can be Moab, Ammon, whoever it is, they just take the culture and try to make it their own.
They say that they become fueled by violence, oppress a man and so keep a man and his
Heritage.
Yeah.
Right? So the Lord gonna deal with them. The Revelation 19 verse 2. He said, for true and righteous are his judgment, for he had judged the great whore which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and had avenged the blood of his servants by her hand.
I wonder how Christianity is big on that.
When
When you hear the word great war, whenever you say, you know, nah, my pinky coming out.
They say that because I was in the Adventist church.
Yeah.
I come to this church. And when they hear them break down Revelation and the prophecies,
They say the Pope.
everything is about Rome and the Pope.
And the
Pope, yeah,
Rome
and the
and the
Pope.
Pope.
this
And
is
it's-
true.
and the seal, it's keeping at the Sabbath. The mark is worshipping on a Sunday. So
And-
if they have it off there, I don't think they can explain nothing in
Yo,
Revelation.
And that's strategic, you know, because we're the entry, like I was saying before. When it is they do that, there's always put somebody in the figure to blame. So the Pope is ready to hit the fall man, you know. He's the fall guy. You understand? To make it look like if he has such great power and such great charge, so anything that happen,
No, technically you're not wrong. You don't have great power. You don't understand what the Vatican is. They don't like taking the plain thing. That's why they look. That's why Revelation tell you. So maybe Revelation tell you about the great prophet.
Yeah,
You go back to him. Go back to them. You understand?
Not that alone, to have one pope.
Yeah, no. After that,
You have 3 popes ruling at one time.
yeah, that even though
They have the white,
three,
the
the
black,
white,
and
the black, and the grey. You understand? Each have a different power.
Yeah.
Each.
Everybody have their own role and function. The white is the public figure. He's the one you go see waving, and the black one, he's really the nitty-gritty man, and the grey man
He's
in between.
he's
more.
basically a casa.
Yeah.
Where even the sorrows just have to come to eat.
Yeah.
That how big he is. That's it. So when they have a real big, that's a thing by itself. That's a different
Great
thing.
power, great power.
but that is not the heads.
Nah, there's not it.
Not the heads,
Nah.
no.
But they try to portray it as if them is the heads, because them is the fall guys.
Because according to Christian doctrine, he is the Antichrist.
Yeah.
So that doctrine perpetuated upon one person occupying that so-called seat of power and receiving the word. When the scripture tells us there are many antichrists.
Yeah.
So when you believe Christian dogma, that is one antichrist, and should he die, you're going to be looking for one particular person
Yeah,
to come on the scene, ignoring all the other antichrists who are running around and pushing this MOTB upon us. So when the MOTB here, you wouldn't even realize it because you're waiting for this one particular antichrist to come.
Well, in itself, Christians are anti-Mashiach.
Ah,
They
I
understand
told
it
you.
yourself, but they wouldn't see that as you say. They push it onto one man. They blame it on one man.
Remember that?
Because
that Antichrist doctrine, it goes so deep, is that they believe when the Antichrist come, he gonna bring 7 years of peace.
Yeah,
And then
and
after
then
the
it's
7 years of peace, then it's the tribulation, and then he go transform into man, it's all kind of.
remember all that time to the concept where they just teach with the mark. They just say what is the number of a man. And they just try to always portray that concept of a man as one individual and not a nation. You understand?
There's always go to the Pope and the inscription on the hat.
He had, yeah.
As the proof that you see, he's really the Antichrist.
And the Pope had just go back to with this Dagon. Dagon?
The fish god.
Fish god.
I don't like it. But go on.
Alright, verse 20 now. Ezekiel 36:20. And when they entered onto the heathen, whether they went, they profaned my holy name.
Yeah, because we went to profane means what? Outside the temple. So we did sacrilege. We committed sacrilege. Basically, we go.
It was an embarrassment, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
Embarrassing your father.
That is it. Go on.
When they said to them, these are the people of Yahweh,
Yeah.
and are gone forth out of his hand. Verse 21. But I had pity for mine holy name.
He had pity for his name, not for us, no, for his name. Go ahead.
which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen,
God.
whether they went.
Yeah, so on that any rulership. Come on, the project, doing the worst. Doing the most and doing the worst. You understand what?
Therefore, say unto the house of Israel,
Yeah.
thus saith Yahweh power, I do not this for your sakes,
Yeah, not for real, not for us. What is the reason you're doing it? What?
O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake.
God, just like the Exodus from Egypt. That was what? For his name to be exalted. So this will be the same. For his name to be exalted. What?
And if I can say that, you see how you pointed the God in being exalted as well, the main point. So,
God.
go ahead.
Every fall of our kingdom, the Lord just make sure that them heathens exalt know who really put it in the way.
God.
So, knowing that, so call them Yope Yogurt. It's not. How you going to exalt the name of men going around calling them Yope Yogurt?
You play your God.
You understand?
These other men who call it
Something.
Amishigara or something like that.
Call him man whatever you feel like. How that going to exalt the man?
Teaching the name no matter what you call it.
Yeah.
You know it's him they're referring to. No. Throughout the scriptures, you always see mention of his name.
God.
Declare his name, his son name. You
God
always see
also
that.
have no other name on that.
No other name.
So no other name. Or you could call him on God.
How you can be saved by somebody and you don't even know how to address them?
God.
Yeah. If it wasn't important, when he sent Moses to deliver the children of Israel, he did not give them the name.
Yeah.
He just said, no, don't tell them who signed it. Just get them the command. God, yeah, man, that's what-
Moses wouldn't even ask
Tell
for
them,
it.
call what they want.
Which ye have
That's a good
profaned among the heathen, whether ye went. Verse 23.
Yeah.
And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, saith Yahweh power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes.
Before their eyes. Before their eyes, well, they will see, they will know they are prophet of Amon. Before their eyes, they will see salvation and in the apocrypha. That precept will talk about the counting life of madness. You understand?
Wait, what's my Solomon 5, eh?
I believe so, God.
May I say I'm straight to salvation?
God,
Yeah,
they'll find it
Solomon
straight.
5.
Now I say, you will be sanctified. You understand? Through us. But in their eyesight, they will see. You understand? They will know.
You know, have a group called Anonymous, like the hacking group called Anonymous. That's
Yeah,
what we,
God.
right? The Lord is not, he not like that. You know? He like people to know that is he do something.
All these nations that they know, you know. When the Lord was distressing
Yeah.
Egypt, these other nations they know, they say, why? But the God of Moses mashing them up over on that side, why?
Because the heart used to fail. That Israel didn't even reach in the vicinity, and the heart done faint in them because even Rahab testified to that fact. When we heard that only was delivered from Egypt and everything the father did for them, and only crossed that river, we obviously, roughly paraphrasing, we know they're coming here. And all the mighty men was terrified for the fear of Israel.
Not be terrified when they say, boy, the gods are coming.
Yeah.
The gods and every
But
gods
man,
are
them
coming.
worship and now open the whole sea for them. What you feeling good to me? Think about it. Let me be.
Man kill everybody, you know, everybody there.
Everybody, you know, for them, you know. For them who even care about them, you know. Them who find the channel to idols, you know. So imagine when they reach here, what will not take place?
Christians like to go to Hebrew dealing with Rahab when they talk about the fate of Rahab and try to use that as a credence to say, hey, you see, even a heathen could believe and a heathen could be honored and a heathen could be saved. But notice, the stain on Rahab was never taken away even if the Bible talk about faith. It kept referring her as the harlot Rahab. Constantly she's always referenced as the harlot. And Rahab didn't have faith like how we would have. Rahab saw an opportunity. Hear what? They self-preservation. And women very good with that self-preservation.
Do or die.
We don't know all of this that happened to these people. It's a surety thing they're going to capture here. So here, why you want to help them? Damn what the king say, because at the end of the day, these people way more powerful than that king. And that's what Rahab basically did. It was a self-preservation move. But still it was a move that she benefited from. Because she was saved. She willingly subjected herself under the throne of Israel.
But like I say, that also show you that you use justifications for that, but she getting a little blind in that situation doesn't mean that any kingdom is going to be a different. Like they feel that Like that gives she the pearly white gates.
Yeah.
You understand? Because she no, in the kingdom she gonna get she backwash out too.
Same thing like what Moab they do. When Joshua them was dealing with them, I would have killed Moab. What the king do? He go for his son. He go for his first son. And he only his son would have reigned instead. He would have the king. So he didn't do that because he had faith in our God. He did that because that's the only way out.
Fair, not faith.
So
Fair.
when you're back against the wall, desperate time, desperate as well.
So them that kind of get away carry pulling the
Yeah.
now in the kingdom.
And that game applied for that time, not for every time after. But
That was to preserve them too because Joshua them was fair, they would have killed out Moab when they existed.
And why Esau want to constantly say, well, his we foreparents did that, we didn't do all of that. Go back to David when the Edomite come to brag that how we killed Saul, taking you that there a reward and an honor. What David do?
Yeah.
David say, all the kill them, man.
Touch the Lord anointed.
Yeah. He didn't think it, I think to touch the Lord's anointed. So Esau, what they oppressing us today, we are the anointed of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You think what they really got to escape?
That's
You
my
see,
anointed.
that's why they're trying to interrupt us understanding what we understand. That's why you say what you have a short time. He trying to put things back in a way that we could go back in that docile state and that he would never have to pay. Because if this never happened, then he end would never come. You understand? And that he trying to get it back. They say make America great again. He wanted to go back to when we was captives. We didn't know nothing. We couldn't read. They had to read us. That's how he wanted to go back and kill out all of us. But it's not going to happen.
Do we really understand how powerful our power is? Now, this is a rhetorical question, why I ask that. Because he's going to use, the scripture says he's going to use the foolishness of preaching. That's why we stand up out here and people passing and they're like, you get all kind of sort of curious scares and looks who's these people, what they're doing, Our power is so powerful, he's using something like preaching and prophesying to bring the downfall of an entire system. If that is powerful, I don't know what else. And he even had a list of fingers. Just through prophecy, you go and see the downfall of this kingdom.
You finish on music and 26 there?
Yeah, you cannot have this to 23.
It's just like what happened with Esau. He used the basis of men to rule the whole world. If he could do that, what he can do? Men who was literally not bathing, couldn't talk properly up in the mountains, living like literal apes. You understand? Look where they is now. Them is the highest people. Lord can use anything to do anything. So he can raise up stones if he wanted to.
See, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
Yeah, for the heritage, in Zechariah 2:12, it says, and the Most High shall inherit Judah, his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. It says, verse 13, be silent, O all flesh, before the Most High, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. Understand? Now proceed to Deuteronomy 2:9. Which says, for the Lord's portions is his people, Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. You understand? So you're already filing what the Most High deemed worthy, what the Most High deemed his prized possession. Where did I meet you at?
See here, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. See, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
God knows the terminology of giving a boy for a harlot, that goes back into giving them idols to worship. You understand? That go back into the idol worship, going back into pouring after other God. You understand? Could be coming to have adultery, but fornication with the spiritual adultery. You understand what the Lord is concerned?
And they did it in both ways too, because physically, the sons and the daughters was backwardly butchered.
No,
you understand?
The girl for the wine reference, that one I really go into the prostitution and or the princesses. But the boy for the harlot is really coming back. Most of the with the men. So they get them a pseudo god to worship.
Now I say it happened both ways now.
Well, can. Go on, that.
Happy stuff. After you
Yeah,
finish.
officer.
About that thing I was talking about.
Go on, that.
It said Zechariah 2 verse 8, it say, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory had he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
God.
Huh?
That's one thing.
Hey, what's the fun for me next one? I was only after that, you know.
Say verse 4. Say, yea, and what have ye to do with me, with Tyre, and Sidon, and all the coasts of Palestine?
Yeah, because Tyre and Sidon go back to Lebanon, I believe it is. That is on that side, coastal areas. But what?
Say, will ye render me a recompense?
Yeah, would you repay me for what you do to these people? Will you? What?
And if you recompense me swiftly, speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?
Exactly. You understand? The Most High will recompense you. Because what? You recompense to these people wickedness for nothing. You understand? You dealt with them treacherously. So how would I recompense you? Not the same way? Hold on.
Say, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. Say, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them, that ye might have removed them far from their border.
They really have my do also the Arab. The scripture saying Amos 1 verse, so start at verse 9. Because they were the do the sell to the Grecians. Edomites, so-called white man, they would sell me too. Right? Amos 1 verse 9. Say, for thus said the Lord, for 3 transgression of Tyrus, look back to Tyre.
Which is there.
And for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they deliver up the whole captivity to Edom, where we now reading in Joel. Right? And remember not the brotherly covenant. Say, but I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the places thereof. He said, thus said the Lord, for 3 transgression of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with a sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. And we see that today. He's not your friend. He's so still like this goes back from way back. From ancient times.
From the womb.
From the womb.
Women fighting.
Right? So these Hamites and the Arabs, all of them had to pay, none of them innocent. Right? They offended Israel, they had part in it all. And if you look at the degeneration of all these nations, whatever did Israel wrong, that was dealt with. So all you feel white man gonna escape? No, the Lord not like that. The Lord say, you remember that which is past. He required. And David the Lord say, no, for sins that reach unto heaven, and the Lord had remember sins. It's not to say the Lord memory bank full up and he flash drive full and he put that aside and it lost. No. Unlimited access, unlimited memory. Right? The Lord remember.
Scripture says he is the apple of his eye.
Yeah.
He touches the apple of his eye.
When the Lord gonna tell the angel there, any file cabinet there, go and pull that Jordan and pull out each record.
Still in Zechariah.
Pull the record, pull the file.
We'll start from verse 6 now. Start from
Verse
verse
6. Alright. Zechariah 2 from verse 6, right? They say, Oh, come forth and feel from the land.
Flee from the land.
Sorry, and flee from the land of the north, like here, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the 4 winds of the heaven.
Yeah, the Most High scatter before you touch you. Go ahead.
The 4 winds, east, west, north, south.
It says, say the Lord. It said, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
What?
It say, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory had he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you.
Yeah.
It say, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
Right. It's 9 is a living point.
It say, for behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants.
Yeah, that is recompense. Most High will put them in the hands, put them back in the hands, put them back in them chains, put them back in our servitude. Understand? That he just repents. That is the balancing of the scale, so to speak, you know? That he just balance. Go on.
You see, and ye shall know that the Lord of hosts had sent me.
Yeah, once I've been to what time, so his name, so you will know that the Most High had done it. Understand? Had wicked been done in our land and the Most High had not done it also. Oh, crazy. Evil done. You understand? And the Most High had not done it. Come on.
And all these things based on prophecy, as you can see in Genesis, the elder shall still be younger. Right? When you read 2nd Ezra 6, you know, show you, what it means by pulling down and the eat. You know, for Esau, he ended the world and Jacob at the beginning of it and followers. You know, Jacob, Esau came out first. And scripture said the first gonna still be younger. Coming into this, you know. So going into captivity. Right? This world was created for Israel. See, these nations is nothing. Like a jump that fallen from a vessel. Right? So we go in and go back and top. We're going to rule. I think we said that. There's Jeremiah 3 verse 18. He said, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north.
And that they prophesy at Ezekiel 37, they say the two sticks going to become one.
It's also why they launched this propaganda campaign to disqualify the scriptures, because they would have you believe man write the Bible in terms of Esau, Edom, and use it as a slavery tool. The prophecies and stuff, they are fairy tales and all this different propaganda talk they're putting out there for you not to believe. But when you read the scriptures, you can see in these prophecies it comes to pass here. So it is their hope that they can get us to cast away the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and hopefully that will stop the judgment already written.